Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you are all having a great day. To start things off, the inaugural IOHK Input Output Hong Kong Summit is scheduled to take place today in Miami in the USA. The event is expected to draw a crowd of blockchain experts, developers, and investors from around the world to hear what the future holds for the Cardano network. Former Ethereum co-founder and CEO of IOHK, his name is Charles Hoskinson, will deliver the opening keynote speech and has announced that he will unveil Cardano's new 2020 roadmap along with updates on Shelley, the decentralization phase of Cardano's development. When you scroll down, the article just kind of goes into like price and stuff like that and where they think it's going to go, and if it goes up, then it's going to go up even further. If it goes down, it's going to go down even further. Obviously, the most interesting part of all of this is the information that we have right here. Cardano has been, here's the actual, the actual website for the summit that's taking place 17-18 April 2019. Cardano has placed itself in a very interesting position, and I mean that as far as the things, Cardano has, or the Cardano team has said for quite a long amount of time that they have upgrades or have updates that are going to kind of blow everyone's mind. But they've been mentioning this for about a good year and a half. That's not to say that the moment that they mentioned that we should have had these updates. Where are the updates? Why don't we have them at this very moment? It's more of the fact that we had 3 coins that came about a good year and some change ago. They were Tron, EOS, and Cardano, that all claimed or were positioning themselves as new leaders in the cryptocurrency space that were going to overtake Ethereum in some sort of form and or fashion. And now we are finally at that point. And I have another... I think it's on here somewhere. I can't remember. There's something happening in the cryptocurrency space, and it's going to get very interesting very, very soon. I myself hold Cardano. I like the Cardano project. I just need more information and more stuff to actually happen. I know, rather, put it to you this way. There are a couple of people around the space who are expecting proper information for Shelley to happen today, as far as, yeah, we got it, it's upgraded, it's in there, let's go, kind of thing like that. Like everything, people are expecting kind of like a monumental announcement to kind of happen today. Don't hold your breath. Usually when we have stuff like this, it's usually them saying, hey, in a couple of months, we will have this upgrade and everything will kind of get moving forward. It's a very interesting time, and not just for Cardano, but also for the other cryptocurrencies that we have out there. And I mean mainly the other 2, EOS and for Tron as well. I think 2019 is already a very large year for altcoins. I think it's a very large year for Ethereum killers, if you kind of want to even place them in that category. I mean, well, those 3 have declared themselves that they are, but also it's very much a we're almost to the finish line, and it's a very much like a put up or shut up type moment, because what's going to end up happening, at least in my opinion, from what I can tell from all the information that we've been getting in the news and stuff like that, is that regulations are very close, and with those regulations are going to come major cryptocurrency exchanges. And I don't mean like Coinbase or Binance. I mean like world financial leaders and stock exchanges around the world are going to start announcing which coins that they're going to be listing. And a lot of them have mentioned before, I can't remember the exact guy who did it the first time. He was mentioning that the coins that we're going to be listing on our stock exchange are going to be in the anywhere the top 5 or top 7 cryptocurrencies. And when you get listed in that number, it does very good things, not only for your price, but for the momentum of your coin, for people who know your coin, people who are going to that company's or stock exchange's website, and they scroll down a little tiny bit and they see, oh, they accept cryptocurrencies, and it's not just Bitcoin, it's now these other coins as well. I don't know exactly what to expect from this summit. I assume maybe as the day rolls on, we should be getting some type of information or some type of news of things that are happening. I'm very excited for it. I'm just trying to stay leveled and keep my feet on the ground, as it were, because it's not that Cardano hasn't delivered with announcements before. It's kind of like this could be like a really big moment, or like the moment that people have been waiting for Cardano to kind of take its place in the, like, not even the broader cryptocurrency space, kind of like solidify itself as like, yeah, we said we could do it, and now here we are actually doing it. Very interesting. Next up, is Coinbase going to solve the thorny challenges of proof of stake blockchain governance? or centralize those systems even further. This is actually very, very important because it's where the cryptocurrency space, in my opinion, is kind of going. Not the centralized part. Don't focus on the word centralized. It says that's the question experts in the space are pondering with the recent announcement that Coinbase Custody will be offering staking support for Maker, Tezos, and Cosmos. The move means institutional investors will be able to vote on blockchain governance matters directly through their Coinbase accounts. They said we're hoping to bring online, frankly, the majority of institutional investors. This was said by Coinbase Custody CEO Sam Mickingvale. Said that the CoinDesk, he said, we're growing these three assets under custody and hoping to see an increased turnout on these votes. That this is possibly, that this is possible is because blockchains like Cosmos, Tezos, and Maker rely on proof of stake to secure their networks, unlike proof of work chains like Bitcoin and, for now, Ethereum, which I'm going to get to in 1 second as well. Proof of stake relies on participants essentially buying into the blockchain's decision-making council and backing their votes with deposits, staking their claim with real assets. They often earn token rewards by fueling the network's growth. But in turn, the networks are beginning to face the same challenge democracies have grappled with for centuries. How do we incentivize voting? So, without reading any further, because for some reason I'm incapable of reading today, what's happening in Coinbase and what's also happening at the beginning of Binance as well, because Binance has also announced that they are going to be offering, I think, Tezos staking, at least for the moment. I assume that they'll also start assimilating other coins. Is that in the traditional financial world, people expect a certain level of security, and I mean not as far as like private keys and stuff like that. I mean like people invest into stuff to know that they're going to get a predetermined reward for whatever they have their money inside of, and this is typically coming in the form of a dividend when you buy something. Let's say, to simplify it, a stock. I buy this stock because I see that regardless of if the stock goes up or down, by the end of the year, I will receive a 6% dividend on whatever I have my money in. So if I have $100 in a stock and it's worth $100, by the end of the year, I will get a 6% dividend, or even quarterly, every couple of months. So you would get around $6 per stock. It's free money, air quotes, what have you, it comes about in different ways. But the way we're seeing this in the cryptocurrency space is that more people are not only making their coins proof of stake to get away from the rapid energy consumption that people say is going on when we have proof of work coins, but also because people are looking for an incentive or trying to find a very new way to be able to monitor and govern cryptocurrency chains, use less electricity, and also have a way to be able to get people incentivized to be able to hold your coin or to stake your coin to be able to receive new coins on the network, and therefore you are also securing the security that's happening within that blockchain. So we have a situation where these companies, because Coinbase and Binance, they are companies, they're realizing that since they cannot offer stock and they cannot offer dividends, what they're going to start doing is that they're going to start offering more of these proof of stake coins. And eventually I know they're like salivating, waiting for the moment that Ethereum actually goes over to proof of stake. That's going to be a huge announcement from them. They're going to be super, super happy for that. I'm actually going to be kind of happy as well when Ethereum finally just does all of its upgrades. Part of the issue that we have with all of this is that what's happening now, at least in the beginning, and I assume this is only going to accelerate as time actually ends up going on, is that we have a situation right now where proof of stake, you kind of show, you stake your claim, as it were, on the blockchain, show the blockchain how many coins you have, how much of a stake you have in the actual network. And this is actually causing people to be able to, I don't want to say buy votes. Typically on many proof of stake blockchains, the more coins you have, the more power you end up having. And if you have a lot of coins and two of your other friends have a lot of coins and it's time to vote on a new proposal on that blockchain, well, you three are the majority, and therefore you kind of control exactly what's going on. What's interesting, what's taking place right now is that Coinbase has set up their platform for institutional investors, for very heavy-handed individuals who are able to buy up huge amounts of these coins and therefore vote on new proposals and vote on other things that are happening. It says it's somewhere around here as well. Yeah, so the Coinbase Custody Edition will be driven by institutional demand, since few proof-of-stake token holders so far are actually participating in the governance, because that's the way that Coinbase has set it up, is that they're kind of letting the rich people get into the game first. According to Becker, nearly 10% of Maker tokens were involved in a recent vote to hike fees, according to Ethereum peg stablecoin loans, while cryptocurrency researcher David Hoffman estimated only 0.58% of wallet holding Maker holders participated. So think about that. It wasn't 80% of people holding the coin. It wasn't 60. It wasn't 50. It wasn't 2%. It was 0.58%. Becker told CoinDesk that the turnout was high among institutional holders that are able to vote. Indeed, he said the most recent fee-raising proposal, had the highest turnout to date with 61 voters. There were 61 people who voted on a fee-raising proposal, when I'm pretty sure there are at least, conservatively, 15, 20, 30,000 people who are holding Maker or who are invested in Maker in some sort of way. So, eventually, and I mentioned this not to sound down or kind of, I told you so, it's more like as people, we are incapable of getting away from something like this, and it comes from like a power vacuum. As 2018 continued on and prices went down and many people shied away from the cryptocurrency market, I noticed a major increase, and I'm pretty sure for those of you who were here as well, you saw it in the news articles, the amount of people who were actually buying into the cryptocurrency space while prices were going down. We don't know exactly which coins these people were buying into. However, I assume there was a huge move, especially if people, as there is no real insider trading at the moment in the cryptocurrency space, one can only assume that people from any number of different platforms were probably talking to their friends. We're going to list this. We're going to have that. We're going to have this because you can get this from this, as far as like, we're going to list this coin because you can get 5.5% return every single year if you hold this much, and so and so and so. So I assume this has been happening, and I noticed this was actually really funny as well. If you click over here on the actual Coinbase blog, a couple of weeks ago, they posted this when they were first announcing that they were going to have Tezos on their website to be able to, stake and so and so and so. The image that they even used showed someone holding 10 million Tezos. It says fiat equivalent is $4.1 million. It's clearly aimed at someone. Let me be clear, this is not me bashing Coinbase. It's more like when I mentioned it in 2018 as well, I said I had a very strange feeling that cryptocurrencies were going to take over. But part of the problem was that people who should be getting into cryptocurrencies were not. People who should be paying attention to the cryptocurrency space were not. People who should have been buying in, whether you buy in on the dips, whether you buy in on the lows, whether you buy in on the highs, it doesn't matter. People who should have been doing these things were scared away. I remember people writing in the comment section that the institutional investors were shaking the tree, knocking out all the loose fruit, and that's exactly what they did. I mean, I'm not expecting anyone out there, especially listening, to have accumulated 10 million Tezos over the course of a 1-year period, but it just kind of goes to show exactly where the cryptocurrency space is going. I mean, if you are invested, you should be thanking your lucky stars or be happy, simply because I'm certain at this point, cryptocurrencies are not going anywhere. This is my opinion, and that the cryptocurrency space is going to continue to mature, and that more money is going to be poured into it. But, get ready for a future where if cryptocurrency assets do take over the world, if we are all paying in Bitcoin and Litecoin, if our bank transfers are going through XRP, if we are signing onto the internet, but it's actually through Ethereum, keep in mind that this new world will still be ruled by the richest people, the people who own 1 million Ether, people who own 150,000 Bitcoin. However, on the flip side, where I said you should be not thanking your lucky stars, but just be happy that you're in this space right now, that you have been accumulating. If you've been accumulating, it's because the way that it's being set up right now, and the way that I listen to podcasts, and the way that I read the news, and the way that I hear all this other stuff, is that these people are trying to make the world run on crypto. And if you are holding crypto, you're going to be part of that party. But there are an enormous amount of people around the world who are just not paying attention. I mentioned before the other day, I hung out with different sets of friends over the course of the weekend, 3 days. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so many people I kept on talking to thought that cryptocurrencies were dead because they don't hear about it in the news. It's something that is is the word obscure? It's just not in their radar because they think that it's completely gone. While when you really pay attention to the news that we actually have floating around out there, especially from Coinbase and Binance and the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ, it's clear that crypto isn't dead. It's just a matter of time for the prices to actually move up again. Anyway, just wanted to kind of, not even just, I mean, we had a full conversation, but yeah, this is something that's going to continue. Everyone else is going to also start offering these things as well, especially by the end of this year when we actually get, they Coinbase and Binance, they always show how much money they had flowing in, how much over-the-counter sales and trades they actually had. When we start seeing, especially if we get into a situation where Tezos by the end of this year is $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, somewhere around that area, and that's from where we are right now, it's a 700% increase. And people have also been making that also 5.5% on top of what they had staked. We're going to see a mad rush to start buying these coins because in the end, I mean, to be honest, when I started investing in stocks and bonds and all this other stuff and mutual funds, I did it because I wanted the dividend. I wanted to know, yeah, my money's going to also go up, but I like to have that check every couple of months in my pocket as well. And this is what people are going to start doing as well because if you want people to join you or to get into your space, you also have to offer them something that is familiar, and proof of stake is very close. There's a line between them, but they're very close to being the dividend for many stocks and bonds and mutual funds. Yeah, let's move on. Next up, some Ripple news thrown around. It says XRP is now live on Uquid, giving people in 150 countries a new way to pay for cell phone service. The company says users can now top off and recharge their mobile phones with XRP in an instant. The company says it's also enabling XRP payments for mobile data plans in more than 11 countries. Uquid supports dozens of cryptocurrencies and also lets users in select countries spend their crypto on grocery stores and pharmacy vouchers, bus and train tickets, and more. Here's the actual photo of them right here. The XRP support comes as Ripple pushes for global adoption for its cross-border payment solutions. The company recently joined the European Commission's International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications. We spoke about that a couple days ago. Ripple co-founder Chris Larsen just met with Luxembourg's Minister of Finance to talk about the future of blockchain and cryptocurrency. Here they are right here in a tweet. The meeting comes on the heels of a new report from the Luxembourg Private Equity and Venture Capital Association. The group compared XRP and Bitcoin and concluded the digital asset is not a security, that is to say XRP, because it's intended to be used, now or in the future, as means of payment for acquiring goods or services or as a means of money or value transfer. So a little lump of Ripple XRP news right there. They're doing very well. It's just they are also at that pinnacle, at least for me, where you gotta... I don't know what it is. I think the price just kind of has to move. People were asking before if I've lost faith in XRP. No, I haven't lost faith. It's more like a... how do I put this in the most honest terms? Things kind of have to start moving, and I don't mean I'm expecting a $19 XRP by the end of this week. It's more like it's very odd that we have such huge amounts of news about for adoption and usage and all this other stuff, but prices still don't really kind of move. And I guess it's also across the broader market for at least at the moment. But it's nice to know on the other side, while prices aren't moving, that the Ripple team is, the meeting with world leaders and stuff like that. That's if you don't see what the Ripple team is trying to do or what they have already accomplished, you're not paying attention. It's just, I guess there is no, it's just kind of, yeah, I can't finish that sentence. Let's move on. To kind of finish things up, and this is what I think is one of the weirdest stories in the entire world, France is reportedly going to try to convince other European Union members states to adopt cryptocurrency regulations similar to its own. This was said by Reuters just a couple days ago. Bruno Le Maire, the French Ministry of the Economy and Finance, reportedly stated that France will encourage other EU countries to adopt cryptocurrency regulations similar to those France approved last week. The new rules reportedly aim to attract cryptocurrency issuers and traders to France by providing them with some official recognition while taxing their profits in return. Per the newly adopted regulation, cryptocurrency operators will have to apply for a certification that would purportedly enable authorities to verify who stands behind the new coin's issuance, or a trading platform also supervising businesses' plans, and of course, anti-money laundering safeguards. Le Maire reportedly said that he will propose to my European partners that we set up a single regulatory framework on crypto assets inspired by French experience. He said, our model is the right one, end quote. I'm not too sure about that. I don't think anyone's regulations right now are the correct one. I think a lot of people, what they're doing is that they have, once again, no idea what cryptocurrencies are actually intended for, what they're going to be used for, why we have them in the first place, and everyone thinks that when they put out regulations, this is it, this is the right one, no, this is what we need, this is how much you have to be taxed, this is where you have to have someone over your shoulder knowing exactly what you're doing at all times. I've seen a hush down in the remember we had the Winklevoss twins set up their own one, and then I think it was Ripple and Coinbase. I don't remember the exact mixture of it. And also the one in Japan of like self-governing cryptocurrency people, organizations, whatever you kind of want to call them. Haven't really heard about them in quite a long amount of time. I still stand by, I don't mind regulations as long as they are regulations coming from people within the cryptocurrency space. They know exactly how not to hamper it, but also at the same exact time, one should assume that they also know how not to, or rather, to be able to clamp down on ICOs that are extremely fraudulent or just taking money from people, whatever the case might actually end up being. I guess we'll get more news on this as the week actually ends up going on, maybe even next week or something like that. From what I've heard, or rather what I've read, France does not have the nicest laws when it comes to finance in general. I have not read through the entirety of their stance on cryptocurrencies and exactly what the taxation rate is going to be, or exactly what the AML, KYC process and all that other stuff is going to be. However, I am holding on to a sliver of faith that other European countries will just not simply adopt something because France has done it. That they will kind of open their eyes and say, hey, maybe we should be a bit more lax. Who knows what's going to happen? Crypto will survive regardless. It's just more like, do I or other people have to move countries to get away from ridiculous laws? Yeah, I think that's definitely going to do it for this video. I think my voice sounds a bit better. I can't actually tell. I was trying to like hold back. There are a lot of points where I wanted to get a bit more energized, but I told myself don't, because you'll probably have a coughing storm. At the moment, prices are doing pretty okay. Depending on where you look, Bitcoin is over 5,200. It's trying to push itself back up. A lot of people are saying that 52 to 5,400 is the new key number that we have to pass by to indicate that we are at the beginnings of what could be a bullish trend. Nothing really going too crazy right now except for Tezos. And this has been happening over the last couple of days. I don't think there's anything specifically happening with Tezos today. I think it's more so, yeah, ever since Coinbase announced the whole Tezos thing, the price has been kind of going insane because, I mean, yeah, this is kind of, and not financial advice, I mean that really, this is kind of where the cryptocurrency space is going. I think everyone's really hyped up over the whole Tezos thing, the Tezos maker and Cosmos. But eventually we will have other coins, especially if we end up getting proper information on this. This is, okay, speculation. This is why I also think that Coinbase hasn't listed Cardano. I think it's because they're waiting for an official announcement from the Cardano people that they're going to be launching their staking, launching Shelly, launching, or that they have everything completely. Because Coinbase is definitely, I don't think they're, I think, based on money, they should be smart enough to understand that a top 10 token should be on their platform, especially if they're going to be offering staking as well. I'll put it in that way. Alrighty, everyone, that's definitely going to do it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are. Wherever in this crazy world you might be. Thank you all once again for watching and listening. I do appreciate all of your support. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. I should have had some tea before this. They are Professor Wally from Gunbot University, SC Verzely,